any cardiac, mobility or respiratory issues that they need to make us aware about.
Maybe afterwards.
Okay, well, as long as you take it very slow, I will not be rushing anyone here up the steps. Take as long as you need, okay? That's alright. So folks, once you're ready, if you can follow me down the left-hand side over here, and it takes us about a few minutes to walk down.
I think it's just a mixture sometimes. People were at home. It says keep to the path, don't wander. Not consciously.
Bottom of the ocean, got compressed by the weight of the water and started building into something known as sediment. And sediment has built up over millions and millions of years to form rock like this one you see here today. So this Dartry limestone is the exact same rock the cave is made up of that we're going into now. You'll notice in the center we have some vertical and horizontal cracks, and they are known as joints and bedding planes. As water gets through cracks in the rocks like these, as water's weakly acidic, it starts to erode away the cracks in the rocks. And over thousands and thousands of years, these cracks get bigger and bigger to form then cave openings like the ones we're going down into now. So follow me a bit further there, folks.
Back up. In theory, it should be fossils there, shouldn't it? Yeah.
Now, taking a look right down below us here, folks, we have what's called a shake hole. And a shake hole is the remnants of a cave which has collapsed in around 12,000 years ago. Now, this was back at the time of the last glaciation here in Ireland, where a huge sheet of ice covered this area. Over the years, when the ice would start to melt, unfortunately the rock underneath it could not withstand the weight of the ice. Therefore, the rock fell through, and that's what's left today, and it's called a shake hole. So follow me down to the cave now, folks.
Here we go. Now folks,
So a few safety points just before heading into the cave today. For any reason any of you want to leave the tour at any stage, I've got a wee radio. I can radio to reception and get someone to collect you. As well as that, we do have a full lighting system down in our cave. For any reason at all the lights went out, which has never happened before, but just if it did, a backup generator does come on straight away. And as well, I've got many torches and stuff on with me as well. Now, one of the most important things I will say to you is please do not touch the cave formations. They have been forming for thousands of years, and bacteria in all of our hands can stop them from growing completely. That's why we say not to touch. Is that okay with everyone?
Yep.
Now, we're going to go down this pathway here. There's a few low rocks by your head. Now, I'm not saying this for any reason other than I say this to people and they still bang their heads on the rock. So please actually be careful and watch out. So, come on ahead, guys.
Fine, yeah, fine. Hold on, we'll put it up in there. The water begins. It's getting better. I don't know what for that.
So, here we go.
Guys, everyone mind your head here, please.
Going down now.
Hi folks, we have low rocks to the right of our head here, and then as well down by our leg to the left. So watch your heads there, people, please. Be careful there to the left of your head, everyone. So watch your head there to the right.
And this is all limestone, yeah.
It is all limestone all around us.
And the crystals that are, how do they form in the?
Crystals.
The sparkle?
Yeah, well, a lot of that's just actually the water
Is
and the
it
light
just
shine on it.
alright.
Now, some of the stuff you would have, but that's more like algae and different
Right,
types of
right.
bacteria which grow on the root. Now, do we have everyone now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, folks, this is where we're starting the tour today. Just before we head on our boat here, I'm going to give you a bit of background about these caves. They were actually first explored in 1895, and that was done by two men known as Edward Martell and Lister Jameson. Martell, he was a speleologist, which is a fancy word for cave scientist, and then Lister Jameson, his friend, he was a naturalist. And a naturalist is in the cave, more looking at the different types of animals and bats that could be living in here back at that time. The very first two explorers actually come in the exact same entrance into the cave that we just did there now. So of course, they met with the Claddagh River as well. Now they had to get through the river, but back in 1895, they surely did not have little engine-powered boats. They were on little collapsible canvas canoes. So their journey through the river took them a lot longer than what ours is going to today. Now I'll tell you a wee bit about their journey as we go through the river. Firstly, follow me down the steps. Please use the handrails, they are quite steep. So make sure everyone gets down off the steps just in case. And then I'm going to get Anne to take you through a bit of boat safety. So please listen up for a few minutes.
Okay, I'm going to be asking you to come onto the jetty one at a time. When you're getting onto the boat, grab hold of the handrails, put your foot onto the seat or into the boat, and in you go, okay? And then the way back out again, hands on the handrails, step onto the seat, and then out of the boat. When we're going on the journey, you'll see we're going underneath a small archway just above the head. So please keep your heads down and into the centre of the boat. Please keep your hands on the handrails at all times. Don't be putting them on the edge of the boat or into the water. It's not normal that anybody should fall into the water, but if you decide to go for a swim today, the boats are very stable, so it shouldn't happen. But if you do, please cling on to the side of the boat or make your way to the edge of the cave. And you'll see there's a rope along the edge of the cave, and cling on to that, and we'll get you in a few minutes. The water isn't that deep, so the first thing you do is stand up, okay? Okay, just make your way one at a time, then on to
Sailing.
So where we go here, folks, just hold on tight there. We are reaching top speed.
We get outside to do the coastal run.
So we won't be going much faster than this along the river today. Probably feel the wind in your hair.
What hair? We are sailing.
Now coming up in front of us, we have that very low archway. So folks, I'm going to really be asking anyone on the right hand side to duck your head into the centre for a few seconds. Unfortunately, he's got the cheap seats today. Not really in this part. Later on, I'll show you. There actually was one that's floating on my first there, a little brown trout. So, but you only see one of them at a time, which is why they normally get washed in with big flood. So just watch that rock up above your heads there now for a second. And here we are. So you can see we have entered into a much larger chamber of the cave. Don't be worried, this is the more common size of passage we'll be seeing for the rest of our tour. Now folks, so I told you Martel and Jameson were our very first two explorers in this cave system. Back in 1895, coming down the Claddagh River, they were on little collapsible canvas canoes. So this journey, as I said, took them a lot longer than what ours is today. Ours will take us about 5 minutes. Theirs took roughly 6 hours to get from one side to the other. And that was these lights around us, the only lighting source that they would have had was little wax candles, which they had melted to the top of their straw hats. Now this was all well and good until a big drop of water came from the roof of the cave above them, and then of course their candle was completely burnt out. So you'll see all these marks on the walls around us, and they're called scalping marks. Scalping marks have formed back when water used to fill these passages thousands of years ago. So over the years, the water or little whirlpools in the water eroded away the lines of rock, forming these little scalping marks. Now, if you all take a look just directly in front of us here, we have two very large boulders. You probably won't be able to miss them. This is forming our natural boulder archway. They would have fallen around 12,000 years ago, back at the time of the last glaciation, and they weigh around 15 tonne each. And that is about the weight of 2 double-decker buses. Of course, that's exactly what you want to hear as we go right underneath them. But do not worry, folks, they haven't moved since last Tuesday. And you can see up here to the left just how delicately placed on top of one another they are. We stuck a bit of blue tack in there last week, done the job. So we've now passed over really the deepest part of the river. It's about 4 metres back there, and now we're heading into much more shallow water again. We could probably get out and walk from what's going on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So the river we're currently on, it is known as the Claddagh River. It flows through the cave here. But the Claddagh River is actually formed due to 3 different rivers which run into our cave system. So 2 of them rivers are coming in over from the right-hand side over here. Them rivers are known as the Fermanagh River, and then the other river, the third one, is coming in over the left, and it's the Enniskillen River. We will actually be walking alongside the Enniskillen River today for the rest of our tour. Now, anyone on the left, just be wary of that half arch, but I'd like you all to take a look up here on the sharp right-hand side, and you will see our largest chamber in the caves. Now this is known as Grand Gallery, and Grand Gallery is as tall as a cathedral and as wide as a football pitch, and it extends on in that direction for another 1.5 kilometres. However, Martel and Jameson went that way, but quickly turned back because they met with a very dangerous waterlogged end. So they then decided to come into the left like we are doing now today, and we are meeting with our second jetty. Guys, we'd like you all to stay seated until me and Anne have the boats completely tied up, and then we will help you out from the front row one by one. And just a very, very good piece of advice, everyone. Please get out on the left and not the right.
It's cold out, right?
How are they like on a weekend?
Oh, my.
No, just stay seated, please. Time.
So guys, just as I said, we'll be following the Enniskillen River, which is a river in the cave here. You'll notice we don't actually have much river up here because it actually goes underneath the ground right at this point and then meets back out in a few passages later on. So that's why for the first part of the tour, we don't really have a river at all. So when the river does flood here in the caves, you can imagine it rises up very high, but that part of the cave is always very dry because the river doesn't actually get up there. So that's quite handy for that.
Excuse me, what, you know the way you see the Claddagh River?
Yeah.
You know the way you hear of a Claddagh ring? What does
Yeah.
Claddagh mean? What is
You know what? I actually don't know what Claddagh means.
就这。
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it's up ahead. Little boreholes, you can see them here. Salmon net, drop down, and then it will just doesn't So guys, make your way even as just so you can all see this big stalactite in front of us here. So can you see it in the back there, folks? This big stalactite?
Yep.
So this is the largest stalactite in the caves, and it's about 2.5 meters long, so they say that's about 250,000 years old.
Wow.
And we call this one Martel after the first explorer, and there's a sidekick beside him, Jameson, the back actually. Alright. And folks, we're going up the steps now. We've about 100.
Okay.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven. If the stores are all closed, with the world she can get where she came. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven.
That was very informative. Was it? That was pretty good. That was good, yeah. Take this off and that's all.
I can remember the if you want to put up touch with it, let's see if that's Chinese. It's just opposed to it's a very popular.
Something on the other road.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in there. Because I said I was trying to get over the street. No chance of school time.
Okay.
My wallet's in the back of my pocket. Heard somebody still paying. I voted for the okay. We okay? Close enough, bro.
Yeah, enough. Yeah, enough. You get the bus.